ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo is gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast one of you Uncle Tom for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first?
DL Hughley just broke the internet again, and this time, he's aiming straight at Snoop Dogg. The comedian's calling Snoop out for doing the exact same thing he once blasted other artists for, saying he's finally showing his real face. Fans are eating it up like it's primetime drama. It all kicked off when DL reposted a throwback clip from 2017, showing Snoop clowning black entertainers for performing at Donald Trump's inauguration. Back then, Snoop snapped hard, saying, "Which one of your Uncle Tom ninjas gonna do it?" It was raw, unfiltered, and straight up disrespectful. But here's the wild twist. Fast forward to 2025, and Snoop just performed at a Trump event himself. Cameras caught him at interview 059, shoulder to shoulder with Nelly and Rick Ross, looking like he was vibing to the same energy he once roasted others for. And man, the internet came for him instantly. The comments? Savage. People called him a sellout, a clown, even saying he puffed his chest out and said, "Yes, sir, I'll dance for you, sir."
It amazes me that to convince black people that Donald Trump cares about them, he takes pictures with celebrities. It's amazing to me. If Donald Trump cared about black people, he wouldn't have denigrated the president with those claims of birtherism.
Watching one of hip-hop's most legendary rebels, the same dude Tupac once co-signed, now catching heat for performing at a Trump gig? That's crazy. And the timing couldn't be worse. Snoop's already knee-deep in rumors, whispers about Diddy connections, talk that he's playing both sides, even claims he's cozy with the feds. Then Suge Knight threw gasoline on the fire, calling Snoop the real industry rat, and reigniting years of talk that he betrayed Tupac. Suge even claimed Snoop lied about visiting Pac in the hospital, saying that story was straight cap. Coming from the man who built Death Row, that's not just shade, that's an earthquake. Now fans are connecting the dots. Add his Trump performance on top of all that, and the picture looks messy. Snoop tried to defend himself, saying he was honored to perform for the office of the president. But that only made things worse. Hip-hop fans felt played, watching their cool uncle morph into the very thing he used to mock. And DL Hughley, he's not letting anyone forget it, because when Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross hit that stage, it wasn't just a show.
But part of that is starting off with Snoop Dogg and Nelly and Soulja Boy and others for their decisions to perform at events surrounding the inauguration.
It was a full-blown scandal. Nelly wasn't backing down for a second. He jumped online to defend himself during a convo with rapper Willie D, saying, "I'm not doing this for the money. It's an honor. I respect the office. Period." Nelly even claimed he'd perform for Biden or Kamala Harris if they asked, brushing it off like it was just business, not politics. But DL Hughley wasn't buying that for a minute. He fired back on Instagram with a post that burned through the timeline, writing, "Trump propping up white supremacy isn't just his past. Nelly, it's who he still is today." Then DL reposted that old Snoop video, letting the receipts do all the talking. The message was crystal clear. DL was calling out what he saw as hypocrisy, and fans were riding with him all the way. And honestly, DL's been standing on this for years. Back in 2017, when Steve Harvey met with Trump and Ben Carson, DL went off, saying, "It amazes me that to convince black people Trump cares, he takes pictures with celebrities." He didn't stop there, he added. "If Trump cared about black people, he wouldn't have pushed those racist lies against Obama or used rappers and athletes as props." DL summed it up cold. "They'd rather see us run the ball than run the country." So when DL saw Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross performing for Trump years later, he couldn't stay silent.
Most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole years, for decades. And at the same time, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience. Suge, you said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about situations, hurt people, that someone was, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was used and he now uses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's gonna expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's gonna move forward with it. I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling and dead before the truth come out.
To him, this wasn't business, it was submission. He even dropped a chilling theory about why Trump wanted Snoop there in the first place: power. DL said it was about dominance, about showing he could make someone who once mocked him bow down and perform. And DL made a cutting point. Trump didn't bring back Waka Flocka, Kodak Black, or Lil Pump, those were old tricks. But Snoop, that's different. Snoop's got global reach, mainstream respect, and street cred, all wrapped in one name. According to DL, Trump's team knew exactly what they were doing. This wasn't random, it was strategic. The internet blew up instantly, memes, edits, and jokes everywhere. One viral post quoted DMX, saying, "They sold their souls to the devil, and the price was cheap." Another joked, after Snoop's Olympic moment, he thought he was untouchable, guess not. And some went deeper, accusing Snoop of being an informant, pointing to how he's suddenly everywhere, from commercials to Olympics, hosting to brand deals. But one comment hit the hardest: when you get enough money, you'll excuse anything, but money can't erase history. Fans are clearly fed up with the celebrity double standards. It doesn't matter how legendary Snoop's career has been in 2025, fans remember everything. Now everyone's asking the same burning question: did Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross just sell out their legacy for a quick bag? Or was it really just business? The debate's getting wild, half the culture's calling it straight-up betrayal, while the other half is shrugging it off as just politics. But one thing's for sure, Snoop's reputation just took a serious hit. Between Suge Knight's bombshell claims and DL Hughley's online takedown, it's starting to look like one of hip-hop's most iconic figures is unraveling in real time. Those whispers about Snoop playing both sides won't die down, and every new headline keeps throwing gasoline on the fire. What started as a simple performance controversy has turned into a full-blown cultural storm. DL didn't just expose a double standard, he cracked open years of buried rumors, doubts, and suspicions people had about Snoop. Now fans are asking the question no one ever dared to before. Who's Snoop really loyal to, the streets, the culture, or whoever cuts the biggest check? Because let's be real, Snoop's come up was never simple. Back in the death row era, he was the voice of the West Coast, smooth talking, dangerous, and street certified. But Suge Knight's latest statements hit like a punch to the gut. Suge said Snoop's been playing both sides since day one, that while Tupac was riding for the cause, Snoop was out there keeping himself safe, smiling for both camps, and staying quiet when things got serious. Suge even claimed Snoop knew way more than he's ever admitted about what really went down between Pac and Death Row before that tragic Vegas night. From behind bars, Suge allegedly called Snoop the biggest rat in the industry since the 90 Seconds. Those are heavy words, especially coming from the man who built Death Row. And then there's Snoop's Hollywood glow-up commercials, Olympic gigs, kid shows, cooking with Martha Stewart. It's like he's rebranded himself into America's favorite uncle. But not everyone's buying it. Some fans are side-eyeing the transformation, saying, how did Snoop go from gangster rapper to corporate mascot? Others are digging even deeper, suggesting maybe the reason he's been so untouchable is because he's protected by something way bigger than fame. The industry informant theory started spreading like wildfire, and fans wasted no time pulling up receipts. People began pointing out moments when Snoop somehow skated free, while everyone around him took the fall. Think about it, during the wild death row chaos, everybody got hit, Pac gone, Suge locked, Dre dipped, yet Snoop slid out untouched and only got bigger. Some call that smart business, but others say it smells like something else entirely. One viral comment nailed it. Notice how Snoop never really gets touched, never canceled, never dragged for long. That ain't luck. And whether it's true or not, the perception is powerful. Right now, people are looking at Snoop in a whole new light, and DL Hughley's words just threw gasoline on that spark. DL's issue isn't just about Trump, it's about accountability. He made it clear it's not about who you perform for, it's about what message you send when you do it, especially when you built your name saying you'd never cross that line. DL basically said Snoop's performance wasn't just bad optics, it was betrayal. A slap in the face to the culture that once crowned him king. The clash between Snoop's gangster roots and his new political softness hit deep. Fans crave authenticity, and DL's calling out what he sees as pure performance. Social media's been in overdrive ever since timelines flooded with takes, memes, and heated debates. Some say Snoop's just trying to stay relevant in a game that moves faster than ever. Others think it runs deeper power plays, backroom deals, even quiet industry control. And then came Nelly's defense saying, "I respect the office." Fans roasted him instantly saying, "That's just code for, I got paid." Even Rick Ross couldn't escape his silence backfired. One viral tweet hit hard. Ross went from hustling to hustling for Trump. The streets weren't feeling it one bit. Meanwhile, the old school hip-hop heads are just shaking their heads, saying this moment proves how far the culture's drifted from what it used to stand for. Back in the day, they risked careers, money, and freedom to speak truth to power. Now, fans say this new wave of stars looks too comfortable, watching their heroes flip for a paycheck. One YouTube comment hit like a punch to the gut. "We watched Snoop go from F times the police to let me get that corporate check. That's not evolution, that's erosion." Asterisk, asterisk. Harsh words, but thousands of people agreed. Some tried to defend him, saying it's unfair to expect artists to stay militant forever. Maybe Snoop's just adapting to survive. But DL Hughley's words kept echoing through the chaos. You can't clown others for selling out, then do the same thing years later. That line struck a nerve, especially now, with Snoop's name tangled up in Diddy's ongoing scandal. Fans can't stop connecting dots, wondering who's tied to who. The Diddy investigation has everyone paranoid, and Snoop's sudden coziness with powerful political figures only fuels the flames even more. Some people swear he's cozying up to power to protect himself, while others insist it's just business moves. But one thing's undeniable, every new headline adds to the mystery. Then came the conspiracy wave. The Snoop plays both teams theory blew up overnight. And it wasn't just random trolls stirring it, industry insiders started dropping cryptic warnings. One former producer even said, "You never really know who's who in this game. Some of the ones you think are real have been playing chess while the rest are playing checkers." Fans instantly took that as a jab at Snoop, and the internet went wild, connecting dots. Now, every shady move in hip-hop somehow gets linked back to him. Through it all, Snoop stayed silent, dropping only a few cryptic jokes online. Some say he's just unbothered, but others think he's hiding behind humor because he knows the backlash is real. And silence can be dangerous, especially when people are already questioning your loyalty. The longer he stays quiet, the louder the noise gets. It's wild, the same man who once called himself the voice of the streets is now watching those same streets turn their backs. And in 2025, public opinion hits harder than any diss track ever could. This stopped being about one performance, now it's about legacy. When your whole career is built on authenticity, one wrong move can flip your entire image upside down. Snoop's now facing the biggest image crisis of his life, and the wildest part? The irony. He's the one who once taught everyone how to move smart in this game, and now the whole world's watching to see if he still remembers how. Right now, it's looking like Snoop's the one getting played. What started as simple gossip has exploded into a full-blown cultural debate about loyalty and identity in hip-hop. Every single day, new clips, podcasts, and memes drag his name right back into the storm. Some fans still defend him, calling it strategy, while others feel straight up betrayed like their favorite uncle just switched sides on live TV. The truth is, Snoop's brand always seemed untouchable, but now that armor's starting to crack. When your whole life plays out in public, every contradiction comes back to haunt you. DL Hughley didn't just call out hypocrisy, he hit a nerve that's been pulsing through hip-hop for decades. That fine line between keeping it real and selling out just got exposed. When DL said Trump's move was a power flex, that he made a man who once mocked him perform for him that stung, it made Snoop look less like a legend and more like a pawn. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Trump didn't need your bars. Snoop, he needed your face. That's the flex. DL warned about this exact game years ago, powerful people using cultural icons as props to show control. And now, everyone's watching it unfold in real time. But the twist? DL's call-out didn't just go viral, it ripped open old industry wounds. Suddenly, fans are revisiting every rumor and every interview from the past 2 decades, from Diddy's investigation to Suge Knight's jailhouse confessions. People are asking, has this been right in front of us the whole time? Some even resurfaced Suge's old claim that Snoop lied about visiting Tupac in the hospital, saying he never showed up and the whole story was pure fiction. And when Suge talks, hip-hop listens even from behind bars. The craziest part? Just a few months ago, Snoop was untouchable. Smiling on TV, lighting up the Olympics, locking down brand deals, and showing up in movies. He'd cemented himself as hip-hop's most beloved uncle. But now, the culture's side-eyeing everything. Even harmless commercials are getting stitched with comments like, "They really turned Snoop into a mascot." It's wild to see how fast the tables turned from OG icon to internet target, and nobody knows if Snoop can spin this one back in his favor. Others joked, "He's on every product except loyalty." That one line went viral instantly, because this time it's not about money, it's about respect. And that's one currency no endorsement can ever buy back. Still, fans are torn in half. Some say Snoop's done more for the West Coast than anyone alive. You weren't mad when Hollywood was cutting him checks, but now you're mad he's getting one from Trump? One fan wrote. It's a fair point. Maybe this isn't selling out. Maybe it's just surviving the game long enough to still play it. But in today's world, perception trumps intention. One bad move online can erase years of credibility in seconds. And when DL Hughley dug up that 2017 clip, everything came full circle. The same man who once said, "Which one of you Uncle Tom ninjas gonna perform for Trump?" had become the headline act. Fans called it karma, or as one viral post put it, full circle humiliation. Even inside the industry, people started whispering that some lines, once crossed, stained forever. Because when you build your whole name on rebellion, performing for power looks like surrender. Still, the culture doesn't really want to cancel Snoop, they just want him to speak. A simple acknowledgement could cool the fire. But instead, he's gone silent. Maybe he's waiting it out, but in the internet age, silence isn't peace, it's gasoline. Every hour he doesn't speak, the speculation gets louder and the loyalty gets thinner. Hip-hop's watching closely, and the new generation is taking notes from every move the OGs make. Moments like this are reshaping what authenticity even means. Because if Snoop, the same man who repped Long Beach, Death Row, and Gin and Juice, can get caught in this storm, then no one's untouchable. DL Hughley didn't just drag Snoop, he cracked open a deeper truth about fame, politics, and standing on your word when the cameras start flashing. The internet isn't just watching, it's judging. So, what do you think? Did Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross go too far performing for Trump? Or is this just business in a new era of hip-hop power plays? Drop your thoughts in the comments because one thing's for sure, this story's far from over, and the next chapter might be even wilder. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.